Good evening and welcome to Business Today. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko with Winnie Buyinza Nakauchi on Sign Language. Now, this is your daily report. Starting it off with boosting African trade. Over 19 African countries are participating in the third annual regional trade fair organized by COMESA, COMFOD and Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Association. Several delegates from different African countries are participating in the 3 days regional trade fair as a way of boosting women incubators. This trade fair kicked off today. Naomi Mutumba reports.
The third annual trade fair is focusing on women incubators while equipping the women with knowledge on how they can access funds from various institutions. This year's trade fair seeks to embrace the rich pool of diverse natural resources, commodity products, labor and skills found in member states and introduce product to Africa and the world to see.
To make sure that a woman can access finance, whether she has security or not, she can be guaranteed by other women, she can use group funding. So in this area, we are also lobbying government, starting from Bank of Uganda through Ministry of Finance, to look into their policy frameworks. After COVID, many women businesses failed, but now we are lobbying for policy reforms so that at least on the task forces we have 40% representation of women.
We have 21 member states in the COMESA region, and this is the third annual COMFOD Regional Trade Fair. We are here in Kampala, Uganda. We brought women from 19 out of the 21 member states, and they have brought their products to display. And the main objective of this organization and of this trade fair is for African women in business to come and share experiences, have the knowledge of Uganda and get to meet the Ugandan people, but at the same time be able to see what products and other things there are to be able to import, export across the borders and meet other businesswomen and see what secrets they can share with each other about their businesses. This day is very important because as we come, the African Continental Free Trade Area has also been tested because we want to see our borders working in Africa.
The State Minister of Trade, Honorable Harriet Ntabazi, was pleased with the initiative taken by women to boost businesses and urged financial institutions to revise their interest rates on loans.
The Uganda Entrepreneurs Association has brought together all the women under the Federation of the Women in Business, led by COMESA, which has really showcased what we have as women. And we as Minister of Trade, we are so excited because this is what we have always preached, that once a woman is out, then the country will move to another level. And I want to tell you that 21 countries in Africa have come together now to talk one language, the business language, to move that woman who thought that by being a woman, there is a problem. Now a woman can do something challenging even more than those of men. So we have women manufacturers, we have women traders owning big businesses. We are even coming to the toppest level.
Participants from different countries shared expectations from the regional trade fair.
It was a very inspirational statement was made by Honorable Minister of Trade. We are inspired to work with the government and with the citizens of Uganda, bringing the products and services that offers by Uganda, not just only here in Uganda, but to the region to supply, using Sokuku.Africa.
We hope the women can access the other border countries and do more business instead of just keeping to the individual countries. Like the minister rightly said, the women must have an economic voice, and that voice must be trading across borders. So from what we are exhibiting here and what we are having as meetings, we're hoping that that will be an integration of the women in business in the African region, starting with the COMESA region.
The goal is to continue to be in line with Agenda 2063 goal, and the activities for this year will draw attention to the African Union Agenda 2063 Goal 4, which is transformed economies with a focus on economic diversification and resilience. Naomi Mtumba, Business Today, Smart 24 TV.
At the gate.
All right, now as the COSASE committee continues to probe the profitability of the Uganda Airlines, the CEO, on the other hand, Jennifer Bamturaki, has yet again defied the committee's summons to appear today. However, the former CEO, Cornwell Mulea, showed up and revealed shocking evidence against the current CEO. We have the report.
Yesterday, Parliament's Committee on State Authorities and State Enterprises, COSASE, summoned the CEO of Uganda Airlines, Jennifer Bamturaki, together with her management team to appear without fail. However, those summons were not compiled to, and the chairperson, Joel Senyonyi, says they are to involve the Speaker of Parliament on that particular matter.
Invoicing at the time was for an amount of $232,000. Where an invoice was raised and approved for $404,000 when the actual costs were $172,000. So this could not be adequately explained as to why it was being pushed for payment, and therefore this was one of the big issues that we had.
Okay, let's go slow so that I get you exactly.
Yeah.
How much was the invoice meant to be?
$404,000.
$404,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Actual cost were $172,000.
The actual was?
$172,000.
$172,000.
Yeah, so the difference between the two was the over-invoicing.
Did you seek to recover this money? Because it's a lot of money we're talking about. Just been doing calculations here. The amount of money that should have been paid was 648 million Uganda shillings. I've done some conversions. But what was eventually paid was 1.5 billion. So the excess was 874 million.
No, there was an attempt to get this paid, but we didn't pay it because we caught it.
Oh, so there was an attempt which you arrested?
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The meeting has, however, taken place with the former CEO, Cornwell Mulea, who has revealed compromising evidence against the current CEO, Jennifer Bamturaki. The confident Mulea told the committee that the manner in which he was suspended from work was improper, and his efforts to meet the disciplinary committee to explain himself were suppressed by the people who were fighting him for exposing their fraud.
Which I had to answer to see, but if the people had been identified, I wondered why they had not been brought to book. In the notice of the disciplinary hearing, they wrote that I would be accorded a chance to meet with the disciplinary committee and give my side of the story, which up to this day that hearing never came. I was never called for that. But nevertheless, Honorable Chair, I did respond to everything that was put to me, including those ones that were for my colleagues during the period when I didn't have the accounting officer responsibility, of which that was a major part.
Mulea further tells the committee that while he was still CEO, he noticed that Ms. Bamturaki was involved in the advertising company Abavata, which she still hired to do business for the airline, and was still giving inflated payment to the Abavata, and over shillings 874 million was going to go to that particular company if it wasn't for his vigilancy.
Invoicing at the time was for an amount of $232,000. Where an invoice was raised and approved for $404,000 when the actual costs were $172,000. So this could not be adequately explained as to why it was being pushed for payment, and therefore this was one of the big issues that we had.
Okay, let's go slow so that I get you exactly.
Yeah.
How much was the invoice meant to be?
$404,000.
$404,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Actual cost were 172,000.
The actual was?
172,000.
172,000.
Yeah, so the difference between the two was the over-invoicing.
Did you seek to recover this money? Because it's a lot of money we are talking about. Just been doing calculations here. The amount of money that should have been paid was 648 million Uganda shillings. I've done some conversions. But what was eventually paid was 1.5 billion. So the excess was 874 million.
No, there was an attempt to get this paid, but we didn't pay it because we caught it.
Oh, so there was an attempt which you arrested?
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The committee also asked Mulea on the continued losses the airline kept making since its launch, and he told them that the company is still in its infancy stage and has 9 routes out of 20, and he hoped by now the airline would be making international flights, but it's only Dubai which cannot bring in more money. Mulea explained that by the time he was suspended, Emirates had agreed to collaborate with the Uganda Airlines.
Mr. Chair, there are losses and very huge losses in every financial year. In 2019-2020, according to auditor's report, it is 102 billion in terms of losses. 2020-2021, it is 164 billion. I understand that you partly share this financial year 2020-2021.
Here is the structures and systems to support the entire growth strategy of the airline. You cannot make profit if you've only opened 9 routes out of 20, because your aircraft are underutilized. So if your aircraft are flying 5 hours a day and they are meant to fly 9 hours, 10 hours a day, it means you will not be able to break even because you are not making your investment pay. So the question we should be asking is, why haven't we opened all the other routes which would bring in the passengers to allow you to attain critical mass? That's the first point. Secondly, on the larger aircraft, it was always foreseen that you needed strong partnerships and you needed to open the routes where these aircraft can go, because if they remain on the ground, they still cost you. So we need to still open Guangzhou. We need to still open the route to London. We need to still open the route to Mumbai. We still need to go to the West Africa region where this aircraft can perform.
The emotional Mulea also explained to the committee why he was getting salary of 118 million, which he says was justifiable for the work he did for the airline. He says he was brought to Uganda to start the company from scratch, but it pains him to see that he is still in court against the same company he started.
When I came in, there was nothing like Uganda Airlines here. That's what I was explaining. There was no plan, no paper, no desk, nothing. I had to build the plan. I had to build everything, negotiate. Honorable members, this is not a small task. It is not. I was going into meetings reading a 300-page agreement on aircraft purchases. On my own, we get to the meeting, nobody has read it.
The committee is to meet the Minister of Works and Transport, General Katumbo Wamala, together with the officials from the Minister of Finance, to hear their side on Uganda Airlines saga.
That saga still continues, but you'll be getting all those discussions here on Smart 24 TV. Well, now moving on, we look at President Museveni receiving new envoys to the country. Now, as the president received credentials from 6 new envoys, he has reiterated that Uganda's commitment to strengthening bilateral ties with the new envoys, respective of their countries. Now, this bilateral relationship may involve exchanging in-depth views on further strengthening economic and trade cooperation. Patterson Mumbere has it all.
The president received the credentials from ambassadors, that's Muhammad Hassan of Pakistan, Ahmed Ibrahim Ahmed of Sudan, retired General George Agri from Kenya, Ismail Ayubami Alitis of Nigeria, and the new High Commissioner of the Republic of Ghana to Uganda, His Excellency Dempte Badiok Asari.
Your Excellency, I just to inform you that our government has decided to open few missions in Africa in order to extend our bilateral cooperation in all fields. So under that policy, we have just opened 5 new missions in Africa, in Djibouti, Uganda, Rwanda, Ivory Coast, and Ghana. This is the first phase, and hopefully we will engage the rest of the countries in future as well.
Speaking at the ceremony, President Museveni welcomed the new envoys and assured them of strengthening bilateral relations.
How do you like Uganda?
I like Uganda very well. I was privileged to visit Uganda in 20. It was good.
But you should always eat it with ground nuts. Aflatoxin comes from, it's a poison.
Oh. That is the Yoruba, and then we have the nuts generally.
Museveni later met with the new High Commissioner of the Republic of Ghana to Uganda, His Excellency Dempte Badiok Aseri, with whom they discussed the rich cultural diversity and historical ties between the two countries.
When are the elections in Ghana again?
It will be December 2024.
Okay.
The equipments and then the accounts.
Okay.
Yes.
It was Kumasi.
Kumasi was the former. The Eastern region, they are also called Akans. They are part of the bigger Akan tradition.
That they were feeding the ancestral spirits.
Yes, Your Excellency, I think that is a common tradition among a larger part of Ghana. The pouring, what we call pouring libation, and sometimes yes, please.
Okay. So
they are also part of the Akans, but the Volta region borders with the Republic of Togo.
So would it
be the eastern part of the country?
In a meeting with the new ambassador of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam to Uganda, His Excellency Nguyen Nam Thien, President Museveni welcomed him to Uganda, noting that Uganda and Vietnam enjoy long-term relations, citing Uganda-Vietnam Solidarity Committee of the 1960s, where he was a member.
When General Giap having answered that, you agree with me. When General can
Magode Kuya, our Minister of State for
East African Community.
He was the secretary.
Okay.
I was a member of that group.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm very happy to hear that.
And from the embassy of Vietnam,
yes,
in Dar es Salaam,
yes,
I was getting a ring. October or November.
Ambassador Nguyen assured the president of his country's commitment to further strengthen the long-standing relationship between the two countries. Pedson Mumbere, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now let's look at the banana industry development project in Uganda. The government is striving to turn agriculture into a viable commercial sector for farmers. And one of the key agendas is to transform agricultural raw materials into high-value products through agro-industrialization. The Vice President, Her Excellency Jessica Alupo, visited the Banana Industrial Development Project to encourage the team at the site. The project has produced 250 kilowatts of energy from biogas and organic fertilizers. Samuel Chirimunda with the details.
In 2005, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni started an initiative of Presidential Initiative on Banana Industrial Development with an idea to start full-scale industrialization of Uganda's bananas. Adding value to the product has led to products such as biscuits, porridge flour, soap, noodles, among others, from the bananas.
Very sincerely for finding time for this small meeting that you are going to have, which arises from an instruction of His Excellency the President on how government should work with the banana initiative led by Dr. Muramba. First, to accomplish what you are already doing in a manner which is satisfactory both to the scientists and the farmers.
While highlighting some of the achievements of the project, Professor Florence Molanga says that it has grown the investment portfolio to a demonstration plant, water and irrigation works that will serve neighboring communities in the industrialization of agricultural sector. Vice President applauded the team.
Then we address what we want to address on the immediate, the medium term, and the long term. Then I will share them with him, and then my thinking that since the budgeting cycle is beginning next month, we will invite you again to come and make a presentation through the relevant ministry, either trade or agriculture, maybe trade or science, so that when I share with him a summary, when we invite you, you will already have taken a decision, so we will make our easy in cabinet when you come to the ministry.
For their efforts and dedication to solving problems and increasing sustainability through industrialization of agriculture.
Immediate would have been okay. So, of course, we had, because of the financial issue, we looked at a gradual increment originally in our commercialization approach. So that's why, because of that, driving profit, His Excellency called us to see how can we fast track this. So if you look at the first model of commercialization, we are proud of that.
Agriculture is a major source of livelihood, and under the National Development Plan 3, agro-industrialization will enable Uganda to embark on its long-term aspiration of increasing household incomes and improving the quality of life. Sir Samuel Kirimunda, reporting for Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
And that particular report takes us into a break. We return with more from Business Today.